Mike Lines here. We're gonna do a full pull day, like a full back day, but it's only gonna be cables. So basically I'm not using any plate loaded machines that most gyms won't have. So most everybody that just has like a pulley system or something like that, you'll be able to kind of do this full day at your facility. So we're really gonna focus on every part of the back and really kind of get it to the point where you can really focus on getting that growth and getting that all out of you can of what equipment you have. So let's get started. So we're going to do a pull down, seated pull down with a narrow grip. So the narrow bar. All right. So get yourself set up. Again, eyes up, shoulders rounded out. Basically that chest up so you feel that nice good stretch. And you're driving those elbows down towards the hips. Like most exercises, people try to go too heavy and then they get into the whole momentum thing. So they let it come up, they let it come to their neck, like ears, shoulders to ears, and then they kind of do this. That just hurts my shoulders just doing it. So just stay stagnant. As soon as you get here, lock your core, lock everything. So it's just all you're feeling is stretching back, squeeze in the back, stretch back, squeeze in the back. Makes it very simplistic, but the simpler the form, the better you're gonna perform it. If I throw all these things at you, it's not gonna be something that's doable. So the big thing is keep the chest up, keep the shoulders down away from the ears, lock your core, drive those elbows to the hips, and really kind of crank it down there and get a good flex. That's exercise number one. So we're moving on to seated rows, but I'm going to be using a neutral, I would say mid to wide bar. I know most people don't have this style of bar, but if you can get just like a straight bar, you can grip it overhand, a little wider than shoulder width. That would constitute as the same sort of thing. All right, get yourself set up. So you're at 90. When you come over, lean right over. Get that stretch. This is where a lot of people kind of misconstrue and they stop their stretch. So get a full stretch. When you're coming back up, don't use momentum. So use your elbows are bringing yourself back. So back, chest comes up. So what I tell people is an easy analogy when they're doing this one, because the stack's right in front of you. So your body's gonna travel where your eyes go. So an easy way to think about it is your face should be traveling with the stack. So when it comes up, head comes up. It means chest comes up, everything comes back. When the stack goes down, that means you're coming down, you're stretching out, and you're letting that full stretch. So if you watch me, my eyeballs are actually traveling with the stack. So rep ranges for this, you're looking at around 10 to 15. And again, you want to push yourself to beyond that failure. So as long as the form is staying consistent, you're good. Exercise number 2. So we're going to move on to exercise number 3. So literally same machine, same seated row, but we're going to be doing a one arm row. What I like to do is get a longer one hand grip and get yourself in behind the bench. So you get that full stretch. You're gonna lean right over, drive that elbow back. Same thing, as the elbows come back, head comes up. Common mistakes are people just try to go too heavy and they start twisting the body. So when they're coming up, they're doing one of these, or they use momentum, and they're just grinding it out like they're trying to start a lawnmower. You're not doing anything. Control the weight. Control on the way back. Hold the flex for a couple seconds. Control on the way out. Hold the stretch for a couple. So switching over to the other arm is just basically you switch back over, and the hip that I want down on the ground or down behind the bench is the hip that your arm is on. So you're able to get that full stretch. Up range here, you're gonna look to about 10, 12. So really trying to push yourself with this one. So you're gonna focus on the stretch and the squeeze, controlling the weight. But one of the big indicators that you wanna do is you wanna go to complete and utter failure. So you can't even break the elbow to bring it back. And I don't want you kind of leaning, like twisting your body to get it back. If you can't break the elbow, pull, even as a partial, set's done. So you're gonna do 4 sets of this one. So it'll be you get really, really good stretch and really good squeeze. The pump on this one's gonna be very intense. So that's exercise number 3. So we're gonna finish the back day off with superset, again with cables. So if you don't have something like this, you could use a rope. I just like using this because it has the loops. Again, takes away the whole need for your grip. So what we're gonna do is a straight arm pull down into what I call, it's basically a kneeling high cable row, but I call them stretchers. So for this, what you do is you walk out, get your bum back, but keep your head up. A lot of people kind of do one of these. Keep everything up like this. So your head's up and you're forcing those shoulders down for that stretch. And you're basically straight arming it to your hip, but pulling these things apart. Common mistakes are people just try to get really heavy. And like I said, they lean down like this, and you see one of the, like super short reps, they're up like this, and they're basically they're doing this. You need full range of motion, so that's why I say get down here, lift the chest up, and get yourself down here. But when you bring that arms back down, bring the chest up as well, because you're trying to close that space. So up. So another good kind of thought process is bikini girls and bodybuilders, when they tell you to turn to the back head pose, the first thing you do, especially bikini girls, they stick their bum out and they do like this whole back scrunch kind of thing. Guys, if you're gonna do a back lat spread, you usually have that one leg back and you do the same thing, you really scrunch your back. This is basically that move. So for the girls, you're already bent over. So for them, it's like perfect. This is what you're doing. For guys, close you get to the show, yeah. Put one, like, get your stance like you're in a show and just hit it. Because it's not changing your upper body. And it gets you ready for being on stage, hitting that pose and holding it. You can tell when you're sitting in a crowd and someone goes to hit a pose and they're just shaking. It tells you they didn't practice. So there's lots of ways to manipulate an exercise as if you're gonna do it on stage. So that one you're gonna go to failure. So right into the point where you can't physically pull that down. Then really all you do is have a kneel. So kneel down, pull. So as your elbows come back, chest pops up. So pop, lean right into the stretch, pop. So this is basically at the end of a full back day. You're stretching out a already pumped muscle, but you're just, every time you pull back and squeeze, you're pumping more blood in. So it's intensifying that pump. So that's why I call them stretchers, because the whole point is to stretch out, get in here, hold that squeeze. Stretch out, get in here, hold that squeeze. And it's gonna be right up in your armpit area. It's gonna be a great way to finish off that full back day. So both of those are to complete and utter failure. Like you cannot do another rep. And like I said, you're finishing off by stretching out already pumped muscle, and you're finishing off with the biggest pump that you're gonna have in quite some time. And that kind of brings me back to a memory. I just had a really, really good workout with a local guy getting ready for a show. And he does really good. He trains hard, everything like that, but he did a back day with me and my style of not going too utterly heavy, but focusing on form. And it opened up his eyes a bit on back training, and he said he had a great pump, but he used the verbiage that I try to kind of promote, is he was open-minded and open to learn
from me for that day. And that's basically how, when I started, that's how I learned. I was open-minded. I learned from everybody that I was around, other bodybuilders, coaches that I've had. I was open to them teach me their style. And then basically what it is, I utilized that style and kind of blended it together. And it's not even my own way. It's a combination of John Meadows, Slim Satir, Dan Dufresne, many local bodybuilders, Bruce Patterson, Santana Anderson. Like, I can stand here all day and name off names that I've learned something off over the years. And that's what brought me to the physique that I have today, and the knowledge that I have today is from all of them, not just from me. So this isn't just my style, it's theirs as well, because I have a little bit of them in everything that I do. So big thing is be open-minded, be open to learning, and that's be open to the knowledge of there's not one way. There's not one way that you're going to build the best physique. And like I said, it's definitely not science. Unfortunately, from all the science boys, it's not your way. Your way is not the only highway. It's not heavy lifting. It's not powerlifting style. That's not going to build you the best bodybuilding physique. And I love volume. I do. It's my bread and butter. But I can't tell you that it's volume either. It's a blend of all of them. All of them have to be blended together, and you have to find what works for you. Like, my legs never responded to heavy lifting, never responded to volume. But my chest responds to the heavier end of sides with a sprinkle of volume. My back responds to high volume, slow tempo. Like, there's so many different protocols that you can't be closed-minded. You can't close yourself off to other styles. So if that's the one message I can kind of put towards you guys today, is learn from everybody. Take away little bits and pieces from the people that you admire online, and ensure that they're giving you correct information, and use it and blend it, make it your own. It's the best knowledge I can give you. That's the end of it for today, and hope you guys learned something.